Hi friends, and welcome back to Gardening Suburbia. My name is Amanda and I'm a gardener here in Zone 6 in Cincinnati, Ohio. And today we are actually going to fix up two of my green stalks. So the other morning my dog got his leash that we have connected in the backyard so that he can roam around freely. He got it wrapped around my larger 7-tier leaf green stalk. He saw a bird, he got super excited. He ran after the bird, and I literally just watched my green stalk slowly tip over and then hit the other 5-tier leaf green stalk that I have in slow-mo. They dominoed, and it made all of the soil go everywhere, it made all of the plants go everywhere. Luckily, I don't have many plants. They were just kind of extras and a bunch of strawberry plants that were setting off runners, which I was going to pot up, and I still could. I very quickly got all of those plants back in the pockets, but I did not reset up the green stalk. This is kind of like a blessing in disguise because I needed to level those two green stalks so that they were watering my plants evenly, and I hadn't done that just because it takes some effort to move the green stalk, at least the ones that I have. I don't have the wheels on the bottom so that they can move easily. They're just kind of stagnant, and so it's okay that it happened. Plus it means that I get to go, or I don't have to, but I want to go to a greenhouse that I haven't gone to, that is fairly close to me, and check out what they have. I know a lot of greenhouses right now during this time of the year have a lot of their plants on sale. I'm gonna see if I can find some tomatoes, and maybe, well, we'll see what they have. But if I can get some tomatoes, that'd be awesome, because I'm having some issues with a few tomatoes in this bed, which has led me to the decision that this bed right here that has my tomatoes in it, I'm not gonna plant tomatoes in it next year. I'm gonna let that one rest with tomatoes next season and potentially do my garlic in that bed this year. So we're gonna go to the greenhouse and see what they have, and then we'll go ahead and get my green stalks reset up. Oh, I almost forgot. Me and my boyfriend went to a yard sale. It was like a neighborhood yard sale. And they had this lovely greenhouse for sale for $20 when it's usually like $60. The people said that their son used it, and they were moving out of a rental and into their forever home or whatever. And they were going to build a greenhouse, and so they decided to get rid of this one. So I'm super excited to try this out next season, because I don't have a greenhouse. Not that this is anything especially fancy, it's just something as a stepping stone to kind of learn in. But it's pretty good. I'm excited. We'll see how this ends up working out. So cute. All right, so it's the next day. I was hoping to get back out when it wasn't quite so hot, because yesterday it was sweltering hot. So I'm out here in the morning. It's still ungodly hot, but I need to get this done because it's just sitting there waiting. And I have a few things that I want to go ahead and replant to get some succession sowings of. And this was honestly like a good reason to get these green stalks set up properly, just because they were kind of tilting in a weird way, making it so it wasn't watering correctly. Plus planting more things that I need in the garden. Peter's Nursery and Greenhouse by where I live, super local, small, super cute. The guy that owns it is an older gentleman. He wasn't there, but there was a woman there named Michelle who was so incredibly friendly, and very passionate about plants. So Thank you, Michelle, for giving me some other greenhouses to check out in the local area, because I had not heard of them, and now I'm super excited to go check them out. I was able to find 3 flowers that I will be putting in my garden. I did not find any tomato plants that I was super interested in. They had some cherry tomato varieties, but I already have an enormous abundance of cherry tomato varieties, and I wanted some slicers. That is okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in some empty spaces with some squash, some herbs and beans, some things that I have on hand that aren't gonna take extremely long to grow out, but can fill up the space. Let me grab the plants and I can show you guys those. Okay, so this is the Angelonia. I'm probably mispronouncing that. You guys can see that there. So I already have this actually in my garden, and I was hoping to save seeds from it this year. I have one that's kind of like a lavender purple. This one's a little darker, and then this one's more of a pink. But I just think these are just such a unique, they kind of remind me of foxglove with the flowers. But they are super pretty, unique, and adds just like a little pop of color. I'm gonna actually pop these, I have 3 of them. I'm gonna pop these in the Greenstalk. Michelle said that these may overwinter, they may not. If they don't, that's totally okay. I may play around with propagating these. So just taking a clipping and putting it in some water and seeing if it'll root, just for funsies. But let's get to cleaning up. I'm putting it off more and more. It is just, it's kind of overwhelming with how much work just doing that is. But let's get to it. All right, so I shoveled up most of the good soil that had spilled out and redistributed everything to the containers that looked like they were missing some. So looking at the planters, looks like we have a bunch of open spots. Like that one has like 4, a few open spots. I'm going ahead and actually cleaning the watering discs as I go, since I have this open. So this is the disc that collects all the water when you pour it in at the top. It goes down this funnel and then distributes to each disc. And each disc has holes that direct it to each pocket. And I just want to make sure that there's no plugs, so that the water can go ahead and evenly distribute. So I am going to use my phone as a level because I don't have an actual like level. I'm going to use those boards, place it on top like this, and I will put my phone right here and I'll turn it as I go and get different readings. This is a little wobbly, so it's going to be a little weird, but I'm going to try my best to get this to be level. I went ahead and I moved my little makeshift brick stand that I use. I just do this to keep it off the ground. As is the only one that I do this with. The medicinal herb stock, I don't use bricks, and my other dark green Greenstalk back there, I don't use bricks at the bottom. This is just me being me. You don't need to do this. So hopefully this will get it all nice and happy. I'm gonna water this as I go since I'm cleaning off the discs. All right, friends, so I stopped and grabbed lunch, cooled off for a little bit, got some water. I got both of the Greenstalk's bases nice and level. So for my 7-tier leaf Greenstalk, the one that's on the bricks, I went ahead and I shoved some sticks underneath of certain parts of it to get it to be level all throughout, so that it's completely level, not just like kind of tilting on one side or the other. I think it's gonna be good. I used sticks instead of dirt or soil just so that it wouldn't wash away. The sticks will eventually deteriorate and it will become unlevel, but my backyard's blacktop that I have, which is, I mean, you can't really tell that it's there because it's covered in grass and weeds and everything else, but a lot of my backyard, or my gardening space at least, is concrete. Blacktop. It goes to blacktop all the way up until my there's just so much green stuff you can't even tell. It goes all the way to those concrete long in-ground beds that I have. So it is old. It has not been resurfaced. It's not level. There's tons of divots. It's kind of eroding away. So it's kind of tricky to find some level spots to put this on. So that's why I went ahead and wedged it with some sticks. I got pretty lucky with the medicinal herb stock. It is a little further in towards my house. This one right here is gonna be the base. It's a little further, it's about 2 to 3 feet closer to my house, which means it's gonna get a little less sun. But being that a lot of those things are perennials, I don't know that it's gonna be detrimental to them. They're still gonna get full sun. It's just not gonna be as much as it was, because we've got my mulberry tree up here, and it tends to fill out like it has. Especially when it's full of berries, the tree branches droop a little bit more, and it creates a little bit more shade on my blacktop. We are gonna finish getting these built, and then I'm gonna go ahead and actually fill in spots in the garden with a couple different seed varieties, seed packets that I gathered from my office upstairs. Well, shoot. I thought I pressed play on that. So on this bottom tier, I went ahead and I sowed in some Space Master bush cucumbers. I've got about 4 seeds per pocket, 2 on each side. I've got 2 pockets that have those cucumbers. I'm doing a bush variety because they only get to a certain size and then they stop growing. They're not like the pole varieties where they just kind of vine and trellis themselves onto something. So these guys will only grow to a set size and produce from that set size. I also planted some kale. It's the kale de Toscana, which is kind of like a huge variety. I don't know where you guys are at. So it's a huge variety that just keeps getting longer and longer. It's on the second tier. We'll see how it does in this. Never done kale in this. And then we've got our Angelina and Galena. I'll put it on the screen. And I think this just looks so pretty. So this top tier, we're going to pop in some teddy bear sunflowers. They are a dwarf variety of sunflowers. I wanted to put them on the top so that they could grow straight up and be big and beautiful. And they only grow to be about 2 feet tall, and they're big and fluffy. So we're gonna pop those in a few spots. I'll probably put some in every pocket. We've got some lettuce leaf basils, some cinnamon basil, strawberries in a few spots, and then some dill that is gone to seed, but it is just so pretty. I'm just leaving it as is. So there are those teddy bear sunflowers. So I'm gonna pop probably 2 seeds per pocket, maybe more if I'm feeling a little jazzy. Cover those guys up. And then I'm gonna grab my top watering disc that sits on the top of this guy. Sorry if anyone's squeamish about blood. I didn't realize my hand was bleeding so much. I was yanking my hose and it skidded across my wooden bed, and I guess I clipped my fingers well enough for them to bleed. So I'm sorry if that made anyone squeamish. So we've got our 7-tier leaf planter set up. It's perfect. We've got some seeds in it. We've got a plant in it that is beautiful. We're now going to get our medicinal herb set up, which is kind of half and half of a medicinal herb this year. Just because I had so many empty spots, I filled it with some beans, which I think a lot of the beans got killed while getting toppled over. So I'm going to go ahead and put those other 2 flowering plants into this guy and then kind of fill in with maybe some herbs. We'll see what I'm feeling. But let's go ahead and get this guy set up. I need to go inside and get some water after we get it done because it's hot. I took a quick break and I harvested a bouquet of flowers. Some of these guys are a little past prime. Like this guy had already set off flowers and like it's just continuing to. So by trimming these guys, I should be giving myself more blooms later on. Yeah, it's a beautiful array of like vibrant pinks and yellows and oranges. Super pretty. I'm super excited about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in my inside real fast in a vase, and then I'll come back out and finish what I was supposed to be doing. I really try to keep my videos at kind of different lengths so that you guys can enjoy them, whether they're like a quick 5-minute video or one of those longer garden tour videos where you can just kind of sit back, relax, and do whatever you need to do around the house or at work or whatever. So we got both of the green stalks up, which I'm super excited. They're both level. I had to scooch the medicinal herb stock. I went ahead and rechecked it just because it looked like it was a little off balance, and it was by like a couple degrees. So I just kind of scooched it to the side, and now it's good. I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a good deep water, basically just filling the top tiers on those guys with the amount of water that it says and letting it soak in. The pockets that have seeds in them, I went ahead and took some seeds from my calendula rosana that has gone to seed, picked those seeds off and popped it in my medicinal herb stock. So the pockets that have seeds, I'll go ahead and hand water those pockets individually so that the soil stays moist, just to really ensure that it has enough moisture for those seeds to go ahead and germinate, because that's typically what happens when you plant seeds outside, especially in the winter, or not the winter, especially in the summer where it's hot and maybe we're not getting good consistent rainfalls. You want to make sure that those seeds are nice and moist while you're awaiting for them to germinate, because they need those shells to break down, and those little seedlings to come to the soil. So thank you guys so much for joining me on kind of taking something that was a little heartbreaking to happen and changing it into something that was something that needed to happen, getting those green stalks fixed. If you guys want to go ahead and enjoy any of my other content, I will go ahead and pop a video up here for you. But until my next upload, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.